We have ACDC. Who do we have there, please?
Your Honor, we have Miss Jones, position number 8, and she is already been interviewed by Miss Attorney McLeod.
All right, let's address that then. And Miss McLeod, I'm sorry, who was your client again?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It's Lisha Jones.
Jones, okay.
And it's a dual arrest.
Yeah, and I understand that Keith Jones may still be in courtroom too. All right, this individual who's appearing on iPhone in a white shirt, are you involved in the Lisha Jones case? No? Okay, then switch off your video, please.
Straight from
The
heaven.
host can do that, thank you. All right, Miss Lakeisha Renee Jones is accused of battery family violence in case 24 CR 4441Y involving cross-defendant Keith Jones. Ms. Jones, you have a, where did she go? Oh, Ms. Jones, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Miss Maureen McLeod.
Yes.
Ms. McLeod, Ms. Jones has, this is a second arrest. And Ms. Desiano, what's your recommendation?
Your Honor, the state in this case is recommending a $2,500 good bond. I'll defer to the court as far as contact and stay away, as this is a dual arrest with Mr. Keith Jones. Taken complete FVIP, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. That recommendation is based on a mutual fight that happened between siblings at what I believe is where they live, but is their mother's house. The mother was also injured in this incident. She tried to break them up and she actually hit her head and had to go to the hospital. The officers were unable to determine who the primary aggressor was and arrested both parties.
Thank you.
Nothing like
Mr.
family
McLeod?
time.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 27 years old. I am not aware, because I didn't hear what pretrial said about the first arrest.
No, I didn't have this. This is
It's a burglary.
second arrest, right? And that was closed or dismissed. So
Right. So essentially, she has no record, Your Honor. My client is a junior in college at this time, and she does have a minor daughter for whom she is the primary caretaker. The incident location is actually her apartment. She lives there. Her brother actually, she allowed him to live there with her. But she has been living at this location for approximately 2 years. It is not her mother's home. Her mother has a separate home. She tells me her mother was just there with her to get some things because she was going to be spending some time with her mother so that her mother could spend some time with the granddaughter for the holidays. So they had just come by to get some things because she was going to be at her mother's house. That is how her mother happened to be there. And she and her brother got into an argument, and mom, of course, was trying to separate them. And this is what happened. And my client tells me that she really does not have an issue with no further violent contact with her brother. She even tells me that they rode together in the police car to the jail. You know, it was kind of an unfortunate situation. They were arguing about some stuff, but she tells me that her brother had not been working for a long time, but he's supposed to start a new job on Monday. And that was part of the issue they were arguing about. But he's starting a new job and she does not want to interfere with his ability to start this new job because he doesn't have anywhere else he can live. And she doesn't mind them continuing to share the space. I would ask a signature bond for my client, Your Honor, conditioned and no further violent contact with her brother, because those are her wishes.
Deputy in courtroom 1, do we have a Mr. Keith Jones? I would like him to come forward.
Yes, he's on his way up.
Thank you. And the young lady can go have a seat in the first row. This is State versus Keith Jones, case number 24 CR 4440Y. Mr. Jones is the cross defendant with regards to Lakeisha Jones, whom we are addressing at the present time. And he's also accused of battery, family violence stemming from this alleged sibling confrontation. Mr. Howard, any priors? I think
I'm gonna defer to the state because yeah, my file look incomplete.
All right, Ms. Desiano, do you have any priors on Keith Jones?
No, Your Honor, I'm showing it's his first arrest, and again, the recommendation is the same, a $2,500 good bond. I'll defer to the court as far as contact, FVIP, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. I would also like to add, Judge, the reason I'm asking for a surety bond in this case is based on the number of injuries that the officer witnessed. He said that the fight was significant enough that the both defendants had several injuries all over their body, and then of course the injury to the innocent civilian third-party mother who's trying to intervene and ended up hospitalized.
Okay. And Mr. Jones, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Thomas.
Yes, Your Honor.
All
This
right.
is my
And-
case.
And Ms. Thomas, what do you recommend for your
That's
client?
serious.
Your Honor, based on Mr. Jones' lack of criminal history, Mr. Jones doesn't have any history of violence. He also, just to piggyback off of Mr. McLeod's, he also offers the same sentiments that this is
Getting
just
into it
an
with his sister and
unfortunate situation between siblings. They do not partake in this act. This is not a common occurrence. They typically do not have any issues. Mr. Jones is 30 years of age. He's stated that he does not typically knuckle up with his sister. He doesn't want to throw her under a bus, but he denies that he was the primary aggressor. Again, he's 30 years of age. He obtained 2 bachelor's degrees, one from UGA College of Liberal and one from University of New York. Right now, he just started working. He starts training on Monday. He's supposed to be starting training on Monday for his new job. He just started. He was residing with his sister. He wished to continue to have contact with his sister. He did express he does not have any other place to go. And we're just asking for no further violent contact, Your Honor, and for Mr. Jones to be granted a signature bond if eligible.
Thank you. For Ms. Jones and Mr. Jones, the bond is going to be set at $3,500. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. Both of them have to report to pretrial once a month. It's a level 1. They're both to have no further violent contact with each other. And both are going to enroll in a 24-week domestic violence program within 30 days of being released. That is a requirement of the bond and not a question of their guilt or innocence. Within 30 days, they must enroll in the program at their expense, and they will report to pretrial to confirm that they have enrolled. And at the end of the 24-week program, they will provide the certificate of completion to their pretrial officer. They will continue to report to pretrial if they violate the conditions or if they do not appear for court or do not enroll in the program. That will be grounds for pretrial to file a warrant for their arrest and revoke their signature bond. And they're both going to be equally responsible for any and all medical costs incurred by the victim. And what was the victim's name, Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, she's not technically a victim in this case. Are you referring to the mother?
Yes.
I
The
actually,
victim who was caught in the crossfire.
she was, Judge, but she's not charged in this case because she didn't want charges to be pressed. Let me,
No. The victim, the mother, who tried to break up the fight.
Yes, Your Honor, it's her children, so naturally she didn't want them to engage. But my impression was that she does not want her children to get into any kind of trouble.
I'm not telling her to get in trouble. Oh, well, that's fine. If nobody wants to pursue that, then let's scratch out the equally responsible for medical costs. All right, that concludes these 2 cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, have a great weekend. Thank you, Ms.
Oh,
McLeod.
I haven't
Thank
seen
you,
Judge Law in a little
you too.
while. She's so cool.
All right, courtroom 1, who do we have in the seat before Mr. Jones?
She's just very dignified.
Ms. Cook on?
Mr. Keith Cook?
No,
Is that
the,
who-
No, it's Miss Tamisha Cook, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Tamisha Cook. No, she's not on yet.
She
So
had to log off, but we can take any of my cases, Your Honor, if the court is ready for me to. While she's having.
Position number 1, Allen.
okay, thank you. We have Darius Lamar Allen, and as soon as he's seated. Okay. And Mr. Allen's case is 24 CR 4430A, accused of battery from July 5th, 2024. Mr. Allen, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Miss Bianca Thomas. Mr.
You got
Howard,
20,
go ahead.
22 total. You got like 6 open cases. Open case out of the cab. I'm in Clayton County. Criminal damage to property, second degree, theft by taking, disorderly conduct. Got an open case out of Fulton, loitering, prowling, obstruction, theft by taking. Open robbery in the cab. Open case in Henry County for 3 counts of obstruction. Suspended license. Another open Clayton for simple battery. Open case in Cobb for obstruction. Another DeKalb, false imprisonment, battery DV, and drugs out of Clayton County as well.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Miss Mokeki?
That'll do it.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant is accused of pushing the victim, Zechariah Phillips, to the ground and also stomping on her head while he was trying to retrieve his firearm from her purse. The victim did sustain visible bruises to her leg and was transported to the hospital for further examination. Unfortunately, our office has not had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Phillips, but we have had an opportunity to speak with her mother, Ms. Latrice Phillips, who states that the victim lives in North Carolina with her. The victim met the defendant in March while he was in North Carolina. The victim does have MH issues and she is taking medication, but since she left North Carolina, she has not been able to have her medication administered. The victim's mother further stated that the victim called the police in North Carolina due to the defendant assaulting her, and that the defendant then left North Carolina after the victim called the police and came to Georgia. And that is when the victim ran away to Georgia with the defendant. She's been trying to get the victim to come back home, but she believes that the defendant is keeping her from coming back home. She's not doing well right now because she's not on her medications. The victim's mother also stated that the defendant has taken away the victim's phone. She can't communicate with anyone. And that while they were in North Carolina,
Yeah, I understand the dynamics between the mom, the victim, and anything else with regards to a layer factors. I'm skipping over the name right now, but the fact
no worries,
regarding
Your Honor.
bond.
I understand. I just wanted to get that information out there so you have the full account. The state's recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond, and that is because the defendant has numerous open cases, including a simple battery, as well as a battery, family violence, and that false imprisonment. He also has some FTAs. I see one from 2022 as well as one from 2023, so that we are recommending that $5,000 surety bond. No further contact with the victim, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and also an ankle monitor because he was in North Carolina while he had numerous cases open.
All right, thank you. Ms.
And I see
Thomas?
that the victim's mother is on. So
I'm going to address her shortly. Please, thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Allen is 24 years of age, Georgia, lifelong Georgia resident. We are not opposed to no further contact, Your Honor. I did speak to Mr. Allen and informed him of the likelihood of that there would be no further contact between the two parties. Mr. Allen does also state that he was previously living in a hotel, but would have another residence if he is conditioned to not have any further contact with Ms. Phillips. Mr. Allen is currently unemployed. He hasn't been working, I believe, for about 4 months now. He did complete the 12th grade. Mr. Allen is asking for a reasonable bond to be set. He said he cannot afford a bond no more than $1,000. Given that Mr. Allen is also going to be in custody for quite some time, he does have 5 county holds. We're asking the court to keep that into consideration and to granting Mr. Allen a bond. He will not be getting out of custody. He cannot afford a bond. He does not have any financial assistance from any family members either, Your Honor.
Yes, that's unfortunate. He does have 5 holds: Clayton County, Cobb County, City of Brazelton, DeKalb County, Henry County, and then he has one in Fulton County where he failed to appear for his jury trial. Unfortunately, Judge Roth has issued a bench warrant, and the bond for that bench warrant is $4,500. In addition to the $4,500 surety bond from that bench warrant, the battery charge, the bond is going to be set at $5,000. It is a surety bond. He is to stay away from 2581 Piedmont Road. He's to have no contact with Zechariah K. Phillips. He's to make sure he stays 200 yards away from her and not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner, including third parties, social media, or any electronic device. He is also to be equipped in the event that he does make bond on any of his cases. He shall be equipped with an ankle monitor, and he will be responsible for the monitoring services, the expenses for the monitoring services. Failure to pay the monitoring services will result in a revocation of his bond. His next court date is July 18. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and definitely no firearms. If he owns any firearms, he shall surrender that to the authorities for destruction. All right, Miss Phillips, the mom of Zechariah, do you have anything else to add to this case?
Just that this is not his first time putting his
That we
hands
already
on her.
know. Do you have
Okay.
anything else to add?
He does have an open case in North Carolina for domestic violence as well.
All right, well, North Carolina will have to extradite him for that. So anything else?
Okay, that's it.
All right, thank you. You're free to go. Next case, please.
Come on, Anderson. Position 2, Anderson.
Any luck with Miss Tamisha Cook, Miss Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor, I had saw her log on. I think she's on the screen. She has a
Yes,
black.
Judge, I'm on.
All right, just making sure. Thank you. We have Samuel Anderson, position number 2, accused of criminal trespass and fair evasion from July 5th, 2024. Mr. Anderson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Thomas. He's got 3 cycles with an open case in Clayton County, 2020 from 2022.
That's
Any
an open case
recommendation?
out of Clarkston, false imprisonment, simple battery.
Oh, in Clarkston. Okay, thank you. And Ms. Mokeke, what's your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial service and stay away from all MARTA locations in compliance with any current MARTA bans, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. He was previously criminally trespassed from MARTA, and that went into effect June 15th, 2024. It's set to expire August 14th, 2024.
All right. It's $500 fair evasion and $1,000 on the criminal trespass. That's the $1,500 signature bond through the jail. And Mr. Anderson, you are on notice now that you are to stay away from all MARTA property in accordance with any active suspension. If you want to find out what your suspensions are, you can approach any MARTA police officer to look it up. Your next court date will be sent to your current mailing address. Please be sure that you have a current address with the courts. And did you have a question? Unmute courtroom 1. What's your question?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. My question, I would like to make a statement and ask the question.
You're not going to make a statement. You're going to tell me what your question is.
My question is, why am I being charged for fair evasion when my wife was there and had the receipt? I was about to defecate on myself.
That you can find out once your attorney gets discovery. But right now you have a signature bond through the jail. And once you are released, you can consult with your attorney and retrieve all the documents to review the reasons for the charge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case.
Position number 12.
12. This is State versus Lashanda Palms, P-A-R-M-S, accused of driving under the influence of alcohol and failure to use the headlights when required from July 6, 2024, which would be today. Ms. Palms, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Tamisha Cook. Ms. Cook? All right. Ms. Daciano, this is a first arrest. However, I don't have arrest warrants. Is there any assurance that we'll get an arrest warrant by Monday, 2 p.m.?
Your Honor, I don't have an answer for that. This is actually, this is Miss Simmons' case, and she's just messaged me and said her internet's gone out. If I could look at it very briefly.
All right, and who did you say is the prosecutor?
Miss Simmons, Miss Audrey Simmons.
Okay, so we have to address Miss Palms afterwards when the prosecutor comes on. In the meantime, Miss Cook, she won't be Riverside by Monday. So y'all might want to consider whether y'all want to do a waiver and proceed straight to bond, or whether y'all want to wait till Monday. Okay, so we're going to hold off on that. Next case, please.
Position 3.
The prosecutors, y'all should be on note that I don't have warrants for both the DUI cases, Harms and Desmond Subtle. So I'll need an update of whether you can get warrants by Monday or whether I'm going to be addressing it today. Okay?
Yes, Judge.
So position 3 is Brandon Factory, accused of theft, lost, or mislaid property. Case number 24 CR 4433J. Oh, I'm sorry, medical, could you mute please until we're ready? Thank you. All right, thank you. Mr. Factory, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Thomas. This is his first arrest. Any objection to a signature bond through the jail? Ms. Mokeke?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, this will be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Mr. Factory, you can be released on a bond on your own recognizance, but this is an open, active case against you. So please be sure that you maintain a current address with the court, and if you get arrested again, your signature bond could be revoked. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case.
Position number 4.
This is State versus Moses Galvin, accused of theft by shoplifting from June 28, 2024. Mr. Galvin, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Thomas. Would that be correct, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Who's the prosecutor in this case?
That would be me, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Mokeke, is this case Riverside?
Oh,
A booking date of, he's been in custody for 6 days. I've got a booking date for July 1st, and he had a felony first appearance on July 2nd, and this warrant was not addressed.
let me take a look at that. I'm just logging into the jail screen right now.
Ms. Thomas, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and just go through the bond factor for Mr. Galvin. He is 24 years of age, lifelong Georgia resident. He does have family, mother, father, and his girlfriend, and one daughter who all still reside in Georgia as well. Mr. Galvin completed the 11th grade. Mr. Galvin expressed that he's been unemployed for the last year. He does not have any financial assistance. I believe his girlfriend may be able to financially assist, but he has not had any contact with any family, Your Honor. So he's asking the court to consider granting him a bond no more than $1,000.
Surety?
Yes, Your Honor, if he's ineligible for UJ or a signature bond. I did see that Mr. Galvin had been in custody since July 1st. And let's see. I didn't catch the date on this warrant. Let me see.
I'm looking at the jail
6/28. So we'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Mokeke?
Yes, looking at the warrant, it does look like he has been in custody since July 1st on this theft by shoplifting charge.
Okay. Mr. Howard, he's got an open case, 23 CR 4898J for criminal trespass at Chevron.
You asking?
Yes.
Oh, hold on.
I want to know whether he's a pretrial client in that case.
Okay, hold on. Is that from the May arrest?
Yes.
They came off of that bond when he got arrested on the 1st of this month.
It's uncomfortably
Okay.
close to my
So he's
name.
got a $2,000 surety bond on that case.
I feel like I'm getting in trouble.
Nah, that's felony. Hold on.
I've got 23 CR 4898J.
Hold on. See. He got $1,000 bond on it.
Is that signature or surety?
Surety.
Okay. All right. In this particular case, on the theft by shoplifting, is going to be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. He is Riverside on this particular charge of theft by shoplifting, and he's to stay away from the Uptown Cheapskate store. I don't remember where that was, but it's somewhere in Roswell. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor,
he got no bond.
did pretrial state that he had a $1,000 surety bond surrender?
Actually, I think he got no bond because that was a felony bond surrender.
Yeah,
So I
he's
think it's
got a-
no bond.
correct.
Okay, no
He's
bond.
got-
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got a felony bond surrender in 24 PI 004.
003.
Oh, go ahead.
003250.
I've got 004711, but I'll defer to pretrial.
Okay. But yeah, yeah,
Okay,
he got
so
no bond.
No bond. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will reset his case to July 18th, since he's currently in a no bond status on the felony case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand, Mr. Galvin? All right, thank you. See you July 18th. The next case?
Number 5, Green.
This is State versus Noah Green, who is cited with battery from July 5th, 2024, in case 24 CR 4435G. Mr. Green, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Miss Bianca Thomas.
He got 9 total. 2022 FTA, 2021 shoplifting conviction, 2018 FTA, 2016 battery, 2015 reckless conduct conviction, and wanted out of Cobb County.
Okay. Ms. Moka?
Yes, Your Honor. In this instant case, the defendant is accused of hitting the victim in the head, kneeing her in the stomach, biting her lower back, and hitting her in the leg with the metal pipe. While the officers were not able to locate the metal pipe, they did observe the bite mark and a knot on the victim's head, as well as a bruise on her leg. The state's recommendation is a $3,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, Iceland Cunningham, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And that is recommendation is based on the defendant's FTAs, as well as that battery conviction from 2016.
All right, thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Green strongly denies these allegations, Your Honor. We are not opposed to having no further contact with Miss Iceland Cunningham. This is a former girlfriend. Mr. Green is 40 years of age, lifelong Georgia resident. He's a father of 8 kids, ages from the 10 years to 21. Mr. Green completed high school, and he's currently self-employed. He does landscaping, auto detailing, and some construction. He's been doing that for the past 3 years now. However, he did state that given him taking care of his kids, all of his kids, and supporting them, his finances are limited. He is asking for a bond no more than $1,000 if he's ineligible for a signature bond.
All right, thank you. Bond is set at $2,000. It's a surety bond. No contact with Iceland Cunningham, and to stay away from the location, 217 Carver Circle in Atlanta, Georgia. No illegal drugs, alcohol, and weapons. Next court date is July 18th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, next case, please.
Can we go back to number 12?
Sure. All right, has the state got any information on Ms. Parks?
Your Honor, we don't have warrants, and I don't anticipate that we will have them by Monday. So the state would ask for a signature bond.
All right. On the DUI, that's going to be $2,500, and that's going to be a signature bond through the jail. On the headlight requirements is a $500 signature bond through the jail. The total bond is $3,000 signature bond through the jail. Ms. Palms, you can sign up for your own bond. However, please remember this is an open, active DUI case against you, and you would need to report back to the Fulton County State Court when summoned. Ms. Cook, that's your client. Would that be correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, and would she qualify for the PD services after today?
No, Your Honor, she does not.
All right, So Ms. Cook, after today, you would need to retain your own attorney. Please let your attorney know that you've got an open DUI case because this is going to impact your driver's license as well. Thank you.
Number 15, Walker.
And Deputy in Courtroom 1, we can also address Mr. Subtle very soon, if I had the same announcement. And Subtle is that, I'm sorry, who is Subtle?
14.
He's position 14.
14, Desmond Subtle. Is that the gentleman in the Courtroom 1?
Yes, but he's not the one that's seated. This is a female, Miss Walker, who's seated.
Who are we addressing?
The person in the chair now is position number 15, Walker.
15, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Well, this is getting awkward.
Yes, this is a young lady by the name of Diamond Walker, accused of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, case number 24 CR 4428E. Ms. Walker, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Cook. This is a first arrest. Ms. Desiano, any objection to a signature bond through the jail?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Cook, your client has a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Please, Ms. Walker, understand that this is an open, active case against you. You can sign up for your bond, but if you get arrested again, you could lose your signature bond. Make sure you come back to court when summoned. That way, by that, I mean, make sure that your address is always current. If you live in Savannah, Georgia, make sure we have the correct address. Thank you.
What was the bond amount, Judge?
$1,000 signature bond through the jail. Thank you. Medical, you are looking for an ASL interpreter. Let me find out. Ms. Bridgewater or Ms. Grace? Have we by any chance have a hearing impaired interpreter?
Judge, let me check on that.
All right, thank you. Next case in courtroom 1.
Number 18, Williams.
This is State versus Jayla Williams, case 24 CR 4439A, accused of battery, family violence, battery, 2 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree from a July 5th, 2024. Ms. Williams, you were booked in on 3 charges, but the prosecutor has added a 4th charge. So that's why you have 4 misdemeanor charges against you this afternoon. You have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Tamisha Cook. This is her first arrest. Any recommendations, Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Judge, the state is recommending a surety bond in this case, a $3,500 good bond, $1,500 on the battery, the first battery, $1,000 on the second battery, and $500 on each of the cruelties. The state is asking for a surety bond in light of there being multiple victims in this case. Our office has been in touch with both of the victims, and the victims are the boyfriend / parent of the defendant's children and the boyfriend's mother. The boyfriend would like to have contact. The mother would not like to have contact. So the state is asking for no further contact with Myra, BIUNDO, and no further violent contact with Jayla Walker. The state is also asking for ADDT or alcohol screening, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol allowed on bond. And that's based on the victim's account that the defendant has a drinking issue and that she doesn't have issues with violence when she's sober. This is something that's limited to when she's drinking. And this entire argument began because of her drinking. And if we could sound for Mr. Walker and Miss Buendo, I saw Mr. Walker on the line.
All right. Mr. Jalen Walker, if you'd like to contribute to the proceedings, please raise your right hand. All right. Mr. Walker, go back to your closet and put on a shirt.
I have on a shirt. It's a tank top, Your
No.
Honor. Okay.
Go. This is not how you dress for church.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, mute his screen. All right, Mr. Cook.
She's so damn cute.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Williams is 26 years old. She adamantly denies the allegations in these charges. I am happy that Mr. Walker is present. We do want to get him sworn in and get his testimony. Your Honor, it's my understanding that this was a verbal dispute between Ms. Williams and Mr. Walker, which never turned physical. The Mr. Walker's mom is present currently to assist them with the kids. Ms. Williams is a full-time student. She's currently attending Georgia State University, where she will be graduating in December with a bachelor's in business administration. She does take summer classes. She has classes scheduled for this coming Monday and Wednesday. She has a 2-year-old son and an 8-month-old daughter that she currently breastfeeds. So we are asking the court, she does not have a history. She denies any allegations of substance abuse. It's my understanding that the mom is actually returning, Mr. Walker's mom is returning back to Texas, I believe. So there is no issues with having no contact with Myra Young. We are asking the court to give Ms. Williams a signature bond, as she does not have any prior criminal history. This is her first offense. We don't believe there's a risk of reoffending. We believe that once Ms. Young is no longer in the household, there would not be any more issues. So we're asking the court for a signature bond on this matter. And if we could have an opportunity to further question Mr. Walker.
All right. Mr. Walker, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else new to add?
I just want to add that Jayla is a great mother and is a great student. She's all around just amazing, and this is just beneath her. This is just
What is beneath?
The charges. The charges is beneath her.
No.
All right. So there wasn't a physical interaction between her and your mother?
Not that I recall. No.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, that would be all. Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry for wearing a tank top.
No problem. All right. On the battery, battery family violence. That's going to be 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. On the battery, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. On counts 3 and 4, that's going to be $500 each. Her total bond is going to be a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. Ms. Williams, you can sign up for your bond, but you would have to comply with the following conditions. You will have to report to pretrial services once a month. You must make sure you come back to court when summoned, so make sure your address is current at all times. You will also have to avoid getting arrested again, otherwise you will lose your signature bond and it will be converted to a surety or cash bond. While you are out on a signature bond, you will enroll in a domestic violence program within 30 days of being released. You will also enroll with a parenting class within 60 days of being released. You will undertake an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit to any treatment that's required, and that must be done within 14 days of being released. You may do that at any healthcare provider, including Grady Hospital or any other particular hospital that you prefer. You are not to consume any alcohol, you're not to consume any illegal drugs, and you're not to possess or own any firearms and weapons. You will be subject to random screens for alcohol and illegal drugs to be administered by pretrial services. Your next court date will be sent to your current mailing address, and you are to have no violent contact with Jaylen Walker and no further contact with Miss Myra, last name Buindo, I think. That's the best pronunciation I can come up with.
That's a great job.
All right, thank you. And please make sure that you comply with the conditions of the bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're free to go, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
Number 17, Wiggins.
All right, thank you. Who is representing Mr. Wiggins?
I am, Your Honor. We may want to go in a breakout room.
All right. This is Nicholas Wiggins, accused of simple battery family violence with regards to a Stephanie Wilkes. Is there a Stephanie Wilkes on Zoom? All right. Mr. Wiggins, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Tamisha Cook. Miss Grace, if you can place Miss Cook, Miss Daciano, and myself in a breakout, please. This is his first arrest. And also place SG Denise in a breakout too, but you will need to have your video on.
Uh-oh. I think Judge Law is going to try to save this guy since it's his first arrest, which is totally appropriate. All right. We might have to leave it there. We might have to leave
Let me
it
see,
there.
maybe, sure.
That's what I got for you. I still have to go get on a plane today. Had a little mix up yesterday. Entirely my fault. I'm detained here in Tokyo. Can't say it's against my will. Absolutely love Japan. Beautiful country. Thank you, Japan. I don't have any viewers in Japan, but although I did find out that I've got viewers that speak Japanese, which would have been handy had I known ahead of time. Because let me tell you something. It's hard to read and it's hard to understand. For some North American scum like me. It really is. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. Wonderful people. Fantastic food. All right, there's my big shout out to Japan. There you have it. However, I do need to get back to the States. So thanks for coming out. That's what I could squeeze in today. I'll see you all soon.